You want a story about Lisa? I'm going to tell you my favourite Lisa story. Back when I lived in Mayo, I would routinely stay with Lisa and Dave. And that would lead to, well, what you'd expect, debauchery. One long weekend, I stayed with Lisa and Dave, and I was ferociously hungover on Saturday morning, but we had to go to the big supermarket because we were having a party that night. So as we get to the supermarket, all of us feeling a bit worse for wear, we're moving around the supermarket, doing all the things, pushing everything in the trolley. Dave goes to grab the trolley, and Lisa goes, Dave, let Alan push the trolley. He never gets to push the trolley. He has no one in his life. At which stage, I was so hungover, I nearly had a fucking panic attack and had to go outside and smoke a cigarette. So that's a memory that will never leave me. When Lisa made me feel so fucking lonely, I nearly cried outside a big Tesco.
Lisa, my love, happy 40th and a half. The first memory that popped into my head when I was asked to have a little think of you was life kind of pre-mobile phone, or very early mobile phone. They didn't do anything, and you went to America with your family, and because you missed me so much, you rang me from America, and I had lied to my mother and told her I was going babysitting, but in fact, unsurprisingly, as you know, I was going to meet a much older man in the pub, like my MO. And when you rang my house phone, Mom was like, oh no, she's not here, but I know where she is. So then Mom drove up to the house that she thought I was babysitting in 5 minutes up the road. I obviously wasn't there. And then goes on a search hunt for me, and I have to be like, oh no, that got cancelled. I was just in Arcane buying milk or something. Grand. I run out of the Other pub, run back home, and you're still on the phone on hold waiting for me, telling me I think you'd been to Alcatraz, I think, that day. And we had a 20-minute chat. I don't know how much that must have cost you. And that was it. Other than that, thank you for adopting me when I used to just go and sleep in your house, and I used to get Chinese and your dad would look at my colouring, and the next morning I would reheat it before breakfast, before school, much to your mother's horror, and everything about the way your family was my family. And I love you forever, long time. So look, I didn't do the best job now there with the photos, but we are where we are.
Could I tell the story about the time that she had a hickey on her neck from Ger Ellis, who was obviously now a big gay, but she was convinced everybody that she had fallen on a plug, and genuinely committed to that story for a very, very long time before the two of them were caught out. In fact, I think, can't remember whether he was going out with one of her friends or was just romantically entangled with one of her friends. Anyway, she tried to cover up a hickey story by saying she fell on a plug.
Happy birthday, Lisa, my beloved. A partner in crime, truly. This is my favourite memory of us when you were in London and Haida was getting married in Colombia, and we had stayed up all night and all day and decided to go and see Meghan Markle get married at the Eagle, which was a very interesting pub. To try and fit in, I think you made some pro-Brexit sentiment and racist reflections of Meghan Markle, which helped us to ingratiate ourselves with the locals. And then we sat in a car of some yardie boy who was definitely a drug dealer, but whose day was made by the fact that two babes were sitting in his car listening to music. And then going home to Barry's absolute disapproval because he's a goody two-shoes. And I think really, that was, I think the moment that our friendship was solidified. Given that you live in Australia, we had not seen each other much, not had a chance to meet much before that point. And that was very special in many ways as such, and one of the first nights of many reprobate nights, which bring me great joy that I hold fondly in my heart. And may we have many more. I mean, these days nights look slightly different, but it's still reprobate in the best way. And long may we continue. Love you, smoosh.
To my dearest friend Lisa, happiest 40th birthday again. I'm so pleased to be here celebrating with you, and even better to be surrounded by so many of our friends and family and loved ones. You're amazing. You are a force to be reckoned with. You bring the most amazing energy into everything that you do, and people are so naturally drawn to you. Be it your notions, be it your vibes, be it your loves for pro-sex. You are just a fantastic person to be around, and we're also incredibly lucky and grateful that we have you in our lives. The last 27 years has been amazing. You are my rock, my best friend, my confidant. I'm laughing because it sounds like I'm doing a wedding speech, but in all seriousness, I can't imagine my life without you in it. I have endless memories of us together and one of us panicking that the phone might ultimately die. Like the time we had a party in my house and I was in the kitchen and got really upset about you potentially dying and started crying whilst I was in cleaning the sink and got really sad and I couldn't find you, and then I found you and you were in the bathroom and you were just like in the bathtub or doing something really silly, having a gay old time, totally oblivious, and then we both got really sad. And by the time we were in Singapore and we were listening to Don Lewis, we both got really sad at the concept of one of us not being here anymore. So let's tap into some sort of eternal life and make sure that that does not indeed happen. But in all seriousness, I couldn't possibly pick for a better person to have by my side through lots of great life's ups and downs. You are absolutely amazing, and I love you, and you are a wonderful person that we're all very grateful to have in our lives.